episode. Now I'm wondering if you're listening. Slow the distance. Please grant my wishes. Please tell me what I'm missing. On my own. Lord, you gotta be. Lord, you gotta be. Lord, you gotta be. You can't tell me it's the way that they supposed to be. Lord, you gotta be. Lord, you gotta be. Lord, you gotta be. You can't tell me it's the way that they supposed to be. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. For me begging favors, comparing to my neighbor. Filthy, unworthy, still turn into the savior. Seat cushions in the pews, rarely played them. Yet with a straight face, I'd say we close related. That's great. Hypocrite nitwit with the Hippocratic oath. Thick skin to help cope and fight tight and new smoke. Soap opera drama focus problems to the Holy Ghost. Closed doors, poke holes and bolts are hosts. Why hast thou forsaken me? I still trust and believe. I don't act to deceive. Right things to achieve. Can't really see my shine decline. Woe is me. No chance to bereave. Reposing back to planting seeds. Please, this gotta be the worst prank ever. To say unto the fellas I was hitting it together. Now, however, I'm doubtful if I ever get a miracle. Knowing I'm a sinner still. Lord, can you hear me? Oh, Lord, you gotta be to me. Lord, you gotta be to me. Lord, you gotta be. You can't tell me it's the way that they supposed to be. Lord, you gotta be. Lord, you gotta be. Lord, you gotta be. You can't tell me it's the way that they supposed to be. My God, my God, my God. My God, my God, my God. My God, my God, my God.
All right, welcome back to the Farron Dozier Show on K. You can pull that button right there up. Yeah, there you go. Welcome back to the Farron Dozier Show on KCAA Radio 106.5 FM, 1050 AM. Also, stream from the KCARadio.com website. And if you're in your car and you listen to us on the AM FM channels and you got to get out, grab your device, type in KCARadio.com, click listen live or watch live, and you can catch us right in the studio on your device. All right, so I got my guest on the line today. How you doing, sir? You there?
Doing good, man. How you doing?
What's happening, man?
I'm good, man. Just got through watching the game and just waiting, just sitting back waiting to talk with you, man. I look forward to it.
Appreciate you, man. What was your take on tonight, man? What did you see for yourself in that sports world?
On one of my well, I'll talk about that later, but
Yeah.
earlier I had said I went with Philly a couple weeks ago. And then I did a back and forth with somebody yesterday. Podcast.
Yeah.
And they kind of swayed me.
What?
Yeah, they swayed me, man.
What?
They made great points. They made great points. If you listen to it, you'll see.
You gave up your position for in one talk.
I just been watching.
Okay.
And it was just I thought Dynasty would just take over.
You thought that, yeah. I think most people did. Most people did.
So that's what I thought. I mean, Philly does have a good team. They got a real good team.
Yeah.
So I'm shocked at the score, but I'm not shocked that they won.
Right. I was talking to Dr. Q, man. And I'm like, it's a new day. It was time for the dynasty I got. That was complete. It was time for a new day. So I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Do me a favor. Introduce yourself to the listeners.
I'm James Jennings. Right now I stay in Kansas City, but I'm born and raised in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Kansas City with Dorothy and Toto and
well, that's Kansas.
That's Kansas. Oh no, where you at?
Missouri.
Oh, okay, Missouri. My bad.
The bigger urban core.
I was about to go all the way to Dorothy and Toto on you.
Hey, they right across the river. Though.
Cool. That's the first thing come to mind in my head.
Dorothy. Oh, everybody
program for that right from TV.
My family back in Pittsburgh in California, like, Kansas. I'm like, no, I live in Missouri.
Let me make sure you get this Missouri, right?
Right.
But thanks for hanging out. I know it's a couple hours ahead over there, so I appreciate you,
No, no problem.
for staying up and being on the show with us tonight.
No problem. Not at
Um,
all.
so first off, shouts out to Ilya Daily. I didn't even realize that the divine connection, that how you and I connected, that you was already had done some conversation with him already.
Yeah, he took me under his wing a couple weeks ago, man, and gave me some
Yeah.
ins and outs to help me because I'm just getting started.
Uh-huh.
If you want me to talk about that,
Yeah, we gonna get there. Yeah.
okay,
Please.
but he helped me out a lot, and he told me he was going to put you with, then I started following you, and I said, oh man, this guy got a lot of different podcasts. And I'm gonna be honest with you, Farron, you gave me some ideas, just watching how you move. Um, so if when everything is said and done,
Yeah.
uh, you'll see what I'm talking about. But I took some ideas from you, man. I'm just letting you know up front.
I'm good, man. I'm good. Me and Ilya been together about 2015. We met at the LA Talk Live, and I just always, in my heart, we had a lot of people come through our shows as guests, and then I always invite people to hang out, and then people get that spark to find their own way. And I'm like, bro,
Mhm.
that's what we do. We inspire others to find their way, bro. And I'm good with that. I don't want to hold nobody back. So whatever you see, my guy, I'm here for you. So I
Thank you,
appreciate
thank you. And I
it.
got to get you on my podcast too.
So what had you even look at the podcast world, man, is for you?
Uh, okay, the etymology of it is basically I watch a lot of them.
Mhm.
I'm a big time Steelers fan, born and
Yeah,
raised in Pittsburgh,
yeah,
and Steeler Nation is for real.
yeah, I know.
So uh, my wife was like, "You're always watching these podcasts. You and your friends go back and forth, and you're really knowledgeable. You coach football, and you played basketball in college. You have a." So I'm like, "Yeah, I'm like whatever. I'm not doing that." And she just kept doing it. And then I had a situation where, I have a lot of time.
Oh,
So basically, I said, wait a minute, and it's like therapy to me, to be
yeah,
honest.
yeah,
Uh, so I started doing some pilots, like where I would just tape myself and get used to, you know, it's different when you're just talking, but when you're doing it in front of a camera and
yeah,
you're doing it
exactly.
solo, it's difficult. And I found that out.
Yeah,
Um, it's hard. But then I started getting more comfortable. I started looking at editing tools and things of that nature. And
yeah.
then one day last week, my wife said, I didn't know this was going to be so involved.
Wel-
And I said, she knows.
Welcome to my world.
Yeah, right. And she's like, I didn't know it was gonna be so involved. I said, yeah, if I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it. I'm not gonna half it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do it, so I'm gonna do it right. I'm gonna look for mentors. I'm gonna look at people that are doing it and doing good. I'm not gonna take everything, but I'll take bits and pieces and put my spin on it
for
because the
sure.
good thing about a podcast is that you're a producer, you're a writer, you're the director,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
dictate,
yeah,
so you got to have that right. And then you got to know your audience and things of that nature. So we started off with Stiller Nation Midwest. Uh, and basically, that was just a podcast.
hmm,
And then I found myself wanting to talk more about sports.
mm,
And somebody put that in my head, Mr. Daly, gave me a he told me why I should
hmm.
uh, do something like that as far as a group. And I came up with the tag of Big J's National Media Sports Net Group,
Yeah,
which is the parent, and now
yeah,
all my podcasts will fall underneath that.
exactly.
So, I have some podcasts, some social stuff, all sports,
Yeah,
where I'll have different athletes and coaches on and things of that nature, tell their story
yeah,
and
yeah,
their journey to let them to athletics, and you know if there was any downfalls, if there was any rough patches, we can talk about it, and and
exactly.
just that's what I'm gonna do, man. I like doing it. I enjoy it, and I'm just trying to get better at it, and get a wealth of knowledge from people who have been doing it a lot longer than me.
Yeah, no, thank you for that, sharing that information. Something you want to ask him? You hear something you want to ask him?
Oh no,
No?
I mean,
Okay.
like, I really appreciate just what you've been doing, man. It sounds like it's really been working, man. I really respect it.
Thank you.
Before we move any further, I gotta go back to some conversations you mentioned. Mr. Basketball player, did you have a chasing hoop dream growing up? What was your chasing hoop dream?
Yes. I was if you know anything about Western Pennsylvania, it's football crazy.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
So you grow up playing football, you're going to do that.
Yeah.
But not everybody, but for the most part, that's the number one sport
Yeah.
in that area of the country. But everybody has hoop dreams.
Yeah.
So, I started playing basketball, but everybody used to tell me you're playing the wrong sport. You're picking the wrong sport. And I'm like, and that just drove me. You
Right.
know what I'm
Right.
saying? So, um, I did get some mail for schools, uh, but more of them came with basketball because I really wasn't interested with
Right.
football. I mean, I played in high school, but I really, no, I was like, I don't want to do that. I'd rather hoop.
Yeah.
So, and I was undersized. I'm 6'4" and a half, so uh,
Yeah.
I'm undersized, and
That's
I
under.
played
Yeah.
down. Yeah, I played down low, but but I was a little athletic, and it helped me out. I wasn't the greatest leaper, but I wasn't grounded either.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So, and then when I got to college, I said you're gonna have to change your position.
Whoa.
Well,
So
he
what?
knew he knew it when he recruited me.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, just didn't say anything. But I had to play facing the basket, which I have never done. You know,
Oh.
because now I'm a 6'4" wing at the time in the early
Oh.
in the early
Yeah.
80s.
Yeah.
Six
Yeah.
four, 6'5" wing player. Sometimes guarding twos, mostly guarding threes, but I could guard fours.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Because I had get used to guarding fives in high school, so most fours didn't bother me.
Right. Right.
Just put a box on, put a
Put a
body
box
on
out.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Box them out. Put a body on
Mhm.
them.
But
Yeah.
but then I realized, I said, man, but I ended up, but later on, hey, I'm like, hey, I should have played football, but that's here nor there, but hey, whatever. It's over now. I'm 58. So
Now, what sport did you coach?
I coach football and basketball.
Okay.
Oh,
So I coach both. So when back in Pittsburgh, I worked with some youth organizations
Uh,
where we did a similar to Pop Warner, but it's youth football.
yeah.
It wasn't called Pop Warner though, but it was just a youth football organization. Uh, did that, did some basketball for the youth, um, did some junior college coaching
Mhm.
at a community college in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. They're
Okay.
pretty good. And I thought I knew basketball too. I sat next to this coach. He's a junior college Hall of Fame coach. And I thought I knew basketball too. I sat next to him and a couple. Well, I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah. Right. Right. At
I wasn't ready to coach.
least you could
But
admit that.
yeah.
yeah, you're supposed to, because that's how you get better.
Right.
But then we moved down here. We moved to Kansas City in '03,
Okay.
and I wasn't coaching. I really didn't know anybody. I was working with high risk youth, but that bug for coaching kept coming back.
Ah.
And I met a guy. He happened to be the athletic director at a school, and he was hiring coaches. He was clearing out his staff and bringing in new guys.
Oh yeah.
And I was one of them. And then he knew I had a background in basketball, but they had a basketball coach at the
Okay.
time. And so I was going to be his assistant, which I was fine with.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but for whatever reason, he didn't come back, and I got named head coach.
What?
Yeah, I did that for 10 years, man. We
10
won
years?
Wow.
10 years from '07,
Wow.
from
Wow.
'07 season
Wow.
to 10 to 17.
That's
I,
nice.
yeah, I had a couple players really play well. I had one player who was a Western Athletic Conference Player of the Year.
Nice.
Went overseas and played. Uh, he played for UMKC, he was University of Missouri, Kansas City.
Yeah.
And I don't know if y'all remember Earl Watson.
Name
Uh,
sounds familiar. Hold up.
he's from Kansas City, Kansas, but he played for UCLA,
Okay.
and then he played for Phoenix, for the Suns, and he has some ties out there in
Okay.
California.
Okay.
So my guy would go out there and work out with him a lot and everything. But
What?
so yeah, then I coached a lot of EYBL. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but that's a high level AAU travel team.
Okay.
Um, EYBL is basically a Nike organization,
Uh,
and it's
we're gonna have to talk
That's
because
big.
yeah.
I'm actually working on some AU programs out here uh, in California, where my area. I have three ABA basketball teams, and I
Okay,
want those to have the AAU portion of it for our children, developing on our next generation of basketball. So yeah, in return, I'm going to pick your brain
okay.
in that conversation as well. But before
Problem.
I let you go, it is Black History Month, right?
Yes, it is.
Right. And one of the conversations that you and I was having on the Instagram was about Pan American. You mentioned
Pan-African.
Pan African.
Pan-Africanist. I consider myself a Pan-Africanist.
So
Uh,
when you share that, how what does that mean when you share that with people?
from what I was taught, Pan-Africanism, and if you look at the definition, is basically helping those of color across the country, across the world, not
Mhm.
just in the United States, but any people of color. Uh, because we all, or well, I don't want to get into that, but as far as the origin of etymology of man,
Of course,
There we
that's a
go.
of course.
we can get it. We can go for days for that one, but
All
Well,
for it.
that's why Dr. Q's here. Dr. Q's,
yeah.
For it.
when I invited him on the show after meeting him a couple days ago, we talked about some of these conversations, and so we wanted to touch on that. So don't hold back.
Oh
Please.
no,
We
it's
want you
but
to.
with Pan African, I just, I'm like basically I'm a spiritual person. I know there's a higher being, and I believe in that. But as far as like helping people and things of that nature, believe, people of color have it hard, man.
Mhm,
And I'm not just talking about if you go to any other country in the world
mhm.
where there's darker complected people, those people suffer.
Yeah,
You know, it doesn't matter where it's at. If
yeah,
they're darker, they suffer.
yeah.
And it's for whatever reason. I mean, some say it's the melanin. I don't know, who knows? I
Yeah.
mean, but um, I do know. I know that that's a problem, and I want to help. I want to help our community here in America as much as I can.
Right.
If I have the resources to do it, and if it's just words or a podcast or anything that I can give back to assist the community, then I'm going to do it.
Oh yeah. No,
Yes,
you're
sir.
right on point. Go ahead,
Yes,
Doc.
sir. No, I would love to even talk more about that with you,
Mhm.
my brother, because I truly believe that is the case. I mean, even myself, my life, and everything I've experienced, I had to come to realize that that was what I was going through, but it wasn't the thing that was going to stop me and what God had in store for me. Right. So I remember from a very young age, I was told that I would never even know what college would be like.
Mhm.
I would never even see to the age that I'm at now or even be where I'm at now. But as much as I could have listened to those people, realized, and shout out to the smart guy, I like this mantra. He said, um, a thought creates a feeling creates an emotion, and an emotion creates a vibration that attracts things to you. So once I realized that it was all of my thoughts, right? And
Mhm.
Yeah,
obviously
yeah.
the environment is going to respond
Of
to
course.
me. Even if I have a good thought, even if I have an uplifting thought, I've noticed that the environment is going to try to shut some of those things down,
For sure.
right? So it's definitely been a journey, but like I said, that mantra, it's the thing that can shift us as a people, especially in this day and age.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's something for me when you go from that direction. When I took cognitive behavior at the VA, um, I knew that understanding principles was
Mhm.
important because principles are to be used by we're used by all kind of principles that we don't even realize that's running us,
Right,
right?
right.
And
Right.
and when I started putting those things in perspective, for me it was my ideology, my philosophy, and my theology. And at 40, I had to go back and find all new ideology, philosophy, and theology for myself, right? But the cognitive behavior course was like the icing on the cake because it allowed me to listen to how I talked and how exaggerated my thoughts were.
Yeah.
And when I got that, I could no longer say all or none or always or my mom abandoned me or my dad
Mhm.
didn't love me. Like I
Right.
was, those were the conversations that I was having toward myself about myself. But that conversation in the cognitive behavior about where you, because the other courses I took didn't touch that.
Mm.
They didn't touch that. They just said be with it.
Mhm.
Be with your thoughts. You don't have to have. I told you feelings and emotions.
Right.
You have to become them. Like I learned that as a way to live from,
Hmm.
but it never really addressed the thoughts.
Yeah.
And when I started doing that course, man, I even when I say I don't love myself,
Mm.
I had to realize how much do I love Farron. Oh, I love Farron 80%.
Mm.
So then what's that 20% that I don't like about myself?
Mm.
Mhm.
And that's what I need to look at.
Yeah.
Because that 20% that I don't like about Farron, I might be projecting on other people
Yeah.
as a protection to make sure you don't speak to that 20%. So I'm always listening for that 20% that I don't like and that you might be pointing out about me.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's how powerful the brain is.
Oh yeah.
So I appreciate you, sir, for that conversation because it is something that as a black community, we have to figure out how powerful those environments are, but more so how we talk to ourselves,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right? Anything you want to speak to that?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, yeah.
No, you actually hit it on the head. I just basically, I just want to be able to do more. It's networking. Like,
Yeah.
okay, I meet I meet you through uh Delhi, and then my cousins. I don't know if you my cousins. She's has a nail polish company. Um, Her husband has a watch company. It's networking.
Oh,
Um,
that's right. I had them
yeah,
on the show
yeah, that's family.
before.
That's
That's
family.
your family. That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
That's right. Got you.
Little
They,
plug for people of color and
that's right. Compass.
Compass Times. Yeah,
Compass time. Yeah. Got the connection there. Thank you for
yeah.
that. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. So I mean, and that's what it's about. With the doctor, talking with him. I love to sit down and rap with him. I would love to have you on my podcast, especially with my social one that
Yeah.
I'm gonna have,
Definitely.
because I definitely have to. I'm working on that one now because I
Yeah.
want to make sure it's formatted right. I just don't want to throw it together. I don't want to just start doing a podcast on it. I want to, because I'm gonna talk about Pan-Africanism. I'm going to
Yeah.
talk about the meaning of it. I'm going to talk about networking, how important that is within our community.
Yeah.
I even want to get into, uh, I'm not great at finances, but as far as like financial literacy and teaching people how to do, I don't get into that, but
Yeah.
but I'm willing to listen and maybe bring somebody on that knows that stuff, because our community needs that stuff.
Okay, for sure. For sure.
And we just, and then there's and then the piece with spirituality,
Yeah.
that's definitely, if you can't, you got to get that first,
Gotta get that.
Right.
you know, but and
All right.
but basically that's it, that's just, I'm just trying to grind, man, and make this work. I've been doing this since no beginning of end of October, beginning of November,
Yeah.
and I got 30 plus episodes,
That's
so
good.
I'm
That's
grinding.
You thriving.
yeah.
You
Yeah,
thrive.
Well,
Yes, sir.
man, thanks, sir, for hanging out with us tonight, man. I appreciate you, and
no
of course, we
problem,
got a
no
lot of
problem.
we got some conversations coming
Yes, we
ahead.
do.
I appreciate you for coming on and letting people know who
Thanks
you are.
for
Let
having
them
me.
know how they can find you on your social media.
Okay, you can find me on Instagram. That's JMJJENN66, or Facebook, Big J National Media Sports Group.
All right.
Either page away, and I'll have a website coming out this week, actually a landing page, but it's not completed. So, but basically, and then YouTube.
Okay.
If you go to my YouTube channel, JMJ Stiller Nation
Got you. All right.
Midwest.com. So that's can you catch all my videos and things of that nature. And
And I got you tagged in my social medias as well, so they'll be able to see it once I post it. For the fire's already posted, but they'll be able to go to that at Farron Dozier or at the Farron Dozier show, and see your post on there, man. So thank you for hanging out tonight, man. I really
hey man, stay positive, both of y'all, man.
Pleasure
do. You
speaking with
too.
you,
Thank
Appreciate
brother.
you.
y'all.
All
Thank
right.
you.
All right.
Uh-huh.
Right. This is the Farron Dozier Show on KCAA Radio 106.5 FM, 1050